Hey guys, Dale here, back with another brand new RimWorld series, Hero Engine. This is going to be part 0, and so in this video we're going to talk about some of the key mods, we'll talk about the ideal legend, we'll take a look at the world map, we'll take a look at our starting situation. Um, if you're not interested in all that and just want to get to the gameplay, feel free to skip this episode and head over to part 1. That should be up a little bit after this one. Anyhow, so to kick things off like we normally do, I guess we'll take a look at Graphics Setter just to see what mods we have that are adding some of the most like textures, new texture content to the playthrough. We have Anomaly Upscale, which we're gonna be playing with anomaly events disabled, so that's not too important, but it's always nice to have like bright textures. Oracle's Miscellanea, Outland Genetics, Vanilla Textures Expanded, Facial Animations. More vanilla textures expanded, big and small genes. Lots of genetics are going to be going on in this playthrough. We have the elves mod just for some more aesthetic choices when it comes to like capes and hoods and things. We're going to have those factions disabled. But we do have the transmog mod, so we can make some superhero outfits as best as we can. Alpha memes, melee animations, rebuild, props decor, more facial stuff, psycasting, alpha genes, and then so many hairs. I don't know. If you've ever used one of the mod collections that I've created, it's probably like 30% hairstyles. We are going to be playing New Colony. We are doing the Sealed Vault. So this is from Vanilla Factions Expanded Ancients. So we'll take a look at some of the key mods on the workshop. There are quite a few that I chose to highlight. I haven't actually played with Vanilla Factions Expanded Ancients before, but it adds a new starting scenario and new quests around these sealed vaults. You guys, I think every RimWorld YouTuber has probably played with this mod except me. So you're probably familiar with this, but there's a bunch of different gene tailoring pods. There's a new storyteller, gene tailoring buildings, basically. And these are used to grant your colonists superpowers. So there are a bunch of different superpowers and potential weaknesses that you have the opportunity to give your colonists as long as you can do it successfully. There is like a big failure chance. Having more buildings and attachments and all that stuff, I think, increases the odds, but there's lots of RNG here with this mod. And we have a bunch of mods that will be kind of like, wow, why does it keep scrolling down? There we go. We have a bunch of extra mods that will support us in our super soldier program. Mods that have added more vault types, mods that have made it a little bit easier to kind of like get the superpowers that we want, hopefully. We'll see how it goes. I have yet to play with this mod. I've wanted to for a long time. I just haven't had a reason or a story to tell with it. We'll be doing Vanilla Psycast Expanded to supplement our superheroes. Some of our superheroes might just be strictly psycasting only. And we've got a few things that'll help us with this. We have like Eltex bodysuits, we have the Puppeteer casting tree, but nothing too crazy with Vanilla Psycasting Expanded. Alpha genes. Some of our heroes will be heavily modified genetically via biotech genes and supporting mods. So we'll see what we can do to kind of like create some Hulks and create some other kind of superheroes leaning into those powers to help kind of like support with the fantasy of a superhero playthrough. We also have a mod that makes it so that none of the genes that we add will affect metabolism at all. So we're going to be free to be overpowered and have fun with it. That is just my list of subscribed mods. We're playing with Insectoids. I feel like Insectoids are mutants. There's some interesting genes there. Maybe we will recruit an Insector to do some insect things for us. And I figure all superheroes need some enemies. So in addition to like the pirate factions, maybe the Empire, depending on whether we decide to be hostile or friendly with them, we're also going to have Insectoids too. So this will be an opportunity for us to, fight a world-threatening faction of insects on this map. Insectoids too, I haven't played with yet, and I haven't seen playthroughs with it yet. I know other people have played it, but I'll be kind of playing this blind, other than just kind of skimming some of the descriptions here. So I'll be curious to see what all this does. Oh, this icon. It's very big. It does not fit. Afraid the Fog just has some really cool looking gear, cool looking abilities. I figure there has to be something in here that our superheroes might want to use. This gun just looks super cool. So we'll see what we need to do to kind of like get immersed in some of that, or get one of our heroes specialized in that gear. We're going to be playing with Altered Carbon as well. I know that with the superhero power granting, there are probably going to be mistakes that are made. There are probably going to be like bad situations. And like from a comic book superhero perspective, superheroes always come back. So I figure this will give us an opportunity to maybe like work on sleeves instead of our actual colonists. And when we have a sleeve that's good to go, that kind of like fits a hero archetype that we are excited about, maybe we'll transfer our colonists to that sleeve. So we'll have to see if we can do it directly on the sleeves, or if we're gonna have to do some things with our colonists that are up and about. But our hero engine, I don't think would be complete if we didn't have a way to like recover from bad genetic experimentation. Vehicles, we'll have vehicles, space cowboy vehicles. They just look so cool. And I felt like they felt heroic. So, having a Wolverine-like character riding across on, whatever kind of speeder this is, I think would be really awesome. I did really like the Sky Ranger, and I think, if we're squatting our superheroes up, then it would make sense for them to have some kind of like aerial transport as well. We are not just installing Rim Effect Core, but all of the Rim Effect mods that have been updated to 1.5 recently. And mostly that's for just some more like outfit variety for transmogging. But also there are some cool abilities here. There's like Omni tools and biotic powers. So maybe that's something that we have a superhero focus on as well. The generator, we did a generator playthrough when we did Dead City. I figure we could take this down the nuclear route. We went geothermal last time, but we'll see how much power some other options get us. And it's pretty quick. It's just like a short little quest chain that we can kind of like figure out and get done. In addition to that, I think the Crypto Forge quest chain I have not done yet. I haven't seen yet. So I'm curious about this. I'm curious about getting some cool weapons and armors for some heroes. And we'll try and get that wrapped up. These two quest mods won't be kind of like the central focus of the playthrough, kind of like they were with Dead City, but they'll be a neat little thing that we do. And then we are going to be doing reunion characters. You might have seen in the thumbnail that I kind of prepped a bunch of characters. With the sealed vault start, we get one person to start with. So we're only starting with one character from that thumbnail. And then I made the rest of the characters in that thumbnail. Here's a bigger version of it, I guess, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. The rest of these characters will be reunion allies that we might find, I don't know, every 10 to 30 days or something like that. So we'll see what we can do to kind of build our little squad. Let's pop back to the game. Sealed Vault, okay. Let me go ahead and load into our playthrough. We'll take a look at the ideology. We'll take a look at the world. We'll take a look at our starting character. Okay, so here is our world. We have a few factions. We have the Insectoids over here. In my headcanon, they are, I don't know if they're actually allied or friendly with the insects or not. Hive. Enemy of. Oh, they're actually enemies. Interesting. So they've kind of been cornered off from the rest of the world. This desert is mostly insectoid factions or settlements. We have some impids down here in this not boreal tundra, arid shrubland. The middle of the map, and I guess a random island, we have just vanilla pirates. Down here we have some xeno-human pirates. We have some tribal factions on the southern peninsula. We have the Shattered Empire over here on the east. Yep. This almost reminds me of Thalnor a little bit, if this was connected, that little bay. We have our hostile outlanders up north, and right here we have a few friendly settlements. We are almost smack dab in the middle of the map. It is randomly a boreal forest tile here. I assume the elevation in this is it's like a plateau or something, because there is tundra right there. Let's go ahead and take a look at our ideology. So we're calling it the Path of Ascension, human primacy, bulwark, psychic focus, and healthcare. So human primacy, I just for the crafting specialist. Bulwark, we're grabbing for some extra blunt armor. Our superheroes will be armored up, but blunt armor is much harder to get than sharp armor. Psychic focus makes it so that we have our leader as the best psycaster. Meditation is exquisite, and our psi focus gain is doubled. Healthcare, we're role-playing an institute that builds superheroes and superhero teams. I think this makes sense. There should be good doctors in the colony. They should expect good medical facilities and all that other fun stuff. Otherwise, most of the stuff is pretty standard. I like to add scars as honorable, just because I know that if my colonists are all scarred up, it's probably from battles protecting the colony, and I think people would respect that. Most of this other stuff is set how I normally set things. We have quite a few roles. We have the leader, who's our prime architect, moral guide, voice of the path, Master Silas, our morphologist. We have a medical specialist that we're calling a preserver. We also have a nurse. Melee specialist is the vanguard. Shooting specialist is a ranger. And our production specialist will be a forge hand. Default funeral name here, Human Requiem. I added the sparring match, and then just a bunch of social festivals. Rewards for any of these are going to be random recruits. We want to recruit people to turn into superheroes, so we'll see what we get. And let's go ahead and take a look at our map. We are playing on a really large map, 325 by 325. I think that's the larger, huge sized map. And then our starting character is Grizzly down here. So Grizzly is kind of like a, my version of a Wolverine. He is genetically modified, so he's non-senescent, scarless, deathless, regeneration, super fast wound healing, super clotting, and fast runner. And metabolic efficiency is 0, because we have a mod that makes our genes not cost any metabolic whatever, not have any metabolic costs. We also have some superpowers on him, so he's not done, and he is a little OP because we did not give him any weaknesses. If we add any more powers, they of course will come with weaknesses. I think later on, as we find certain things or unlock certain researches, we'll be able to potentially remove weaknesses. But we're starting him off with plasteel claws, plasteel skeleton, and as an assassin. So the subjects developed bone claws sheathed in plasteel within their hands, which can be extended through vertical slits between their fingers. They serve as fast, reactive, and deadly melee weapons. The subject's skeletal structure has been slowly but entirely replaced with plasteel, with no flaws to be found anywhere, and their bones can be neither cracked nor broken. And then Assassin, the subject has become capable of landing very precise hits, even in frantic melee or from very long range, knowing exactly where to aim in order to target the brain, the heart, or other vital organs. So Grizzly here is going to be pretty strong. We have a mod so that we start with this authorized biometrics. So that increases hacking speed by 1,000%, which is great because Grizzly's not a smart guy. So, he'd probably try and claw these doors open, but we'll be able to hack them. And I think that only lasts for 24 hours. So we will get over to part one. We'll start opening this vault up and we will see what is in store for us. So for the goal of this playthrough, I think it's not just reassembling this team and altering them so that their superpowers line up with kind of the visuals that I've created here for them. But we're going to be building several squads of superheroes. We're going to be trying out genetic modification. We'll be trying out ancient technology to grant superpowers. We'll be loading people up with bionics. And we'll see how our various squads turn out when they are faced with threats from insectors, um, xenopirates, maybe even the Empire. Uh, I don't really have like an end game condition for this, but play it as long as it's fun, and we'll see how many different types of superhero archetypes that we can create. Well, thanks for hanging out with me here in part 0. As always, until next time, have a good one. See you guys over in part 1. Bye.